This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi everyone. So far we discussed about the demo session on performance testing, and we were aware like what is performance testing and why we need it, and when exactly we will be performing this type of testing, and how we are going to achieve that. And also we discussed like what are the steps involved in performance testing lifecycle. And yesterday we discussed on complete NFR, the very first step of a performance testing lifecycle, which is non-functional requirement gathering. Okay, whenever we are gathering the requirement for any application, so we were aware like what all the questions we should post to our client in order to fill our details for the next step. Okay, so what all the things we will be including in our NFR, okay, that will be documented in a proper format, which is called sort of test plan. Okay, so as we all know, test plan is a sort of agreement between the client and the organization. So whenever you open the test plan, this is how it looks. So it should be with the application name, and here we will be providing the version number as well. The template might look different as with respect to the organization. Okay, so what are all the parameters and elements that will be in?
Amulya,
Yes.
have you shared the screen? I could not see the screen.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, now you can, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is how it looks. So we need to provide the application name. The template may vary from organization to organization, but the elements what we include here and there will be same. Okay. So suppose if Bhaskar is filling the document for the first time, so he will be providing his name here. If Bhaskar already done with one release, and in place of Bhaskar, if Kumar is updating the new test plan, then he should provide his name. Like whatever the data you are filling here, no matter what, this is related to which technology, even the one from the outsider also, if they are gonna to open this test plan, they should get a clear picture of what all the things we are including in our performance testing. Okay, so like, okay, this is the guy who did for the first time. Okay, this is the initial document. After that they did some sort of updation. Okay, it might be any modules or functionality or whatever it might be. Then this is the guy who updated that. Okay, one second. Okay, and these are the table of contents. Okay, so even whenever someone is going to ask you like what are the contents we will be having in our test plan, like you can simply go ahead with like a well known things. So if there are 20 or 30, then that is totally fine. Like you should let them know like what are all the topics we will be mainly concentrating. Okay, so we'll go step by step. We are having like around 20 in this document, which is already discussed in NFR. Okay, first will be reference documents. Okay, suppose as we are discussing about the food delivery, right? Let's take this application is Swiggy itself. Okay, so let's continue our discussion with considering the Swiggy application. Okay, so when you talk about reference documents, if you are having anything related to such Swiggy application, you can able to add it. Or if the Swiggy is already existing in the I mean into the production, earlier it was with the TCS and now it was with Infosys, in that case you can also able to add the reports from the production and from the past releases. If there is any Excel documents or if there is any sort of Word documents, if you're having that, you can add that, so that the one who is going to read this document, they'll get a complete and clear picture on what he is doing, so that they'll get the proper idea on the application. And objective of the application. So exactly what's the purpose of doing performance testing? Suppose when we talk about the March release, so if they are planning to go ahead with release on 21st of March, okay, exactly what's the plan? Okay, suppose if we take Kumar is our client and Bhaskar is performance tester. Okay, in that case, exactly what's the plan from the Kumar? So what he is going to simply say, suppose if he is saying like earlier we are having only Swiggy, now we are willing to add one more one more thing into our application, which is called Instamart, where they can able to provide the delivery within 10 minutes. It might be sort of delivery, I mean it might be sort of grocery products or whatever it might be. Okay, so if he is coming with such plan, then we can say like the purpose of performance testing for this 1.2 release or this Swiggy application to check the application behavior with the maximum or peak load. Okay, and also we need to write the exactly what's the purpose of updated application. Okay, so here what we mentioned, the purpose of Swiggy R3.0 release is just to check whether all the metrics are within the SLA or not. Suppose let's take earlier they faced any payment delay issues. Okay, earlier it was not accepting Sodexo cards or Plexi cards. Okay, Sodexo and Plexi are given to the employees from our organization, right? So if this Swiggy is unable to accept those cards, then they can able to fix that issue. If they come up with a new plan saying like adding Instamart and also adding some sort of any bug fixes, then we will be simply mention the purpose of doing performance testing for our 3.0 release is to check all the metrics are within SLA after bug fixes, and also to check Instamart module and its options or functionalities. Okay, so that here we will be adding one more sub module into this Swiggy. Okay, so that we will be checking like whether you can able to place order in Instamart. Okay, so we need to write such an objective. We know like what is performance testing. It is like testing the application behavior with the peak load. That's fine. Exactly why you want to, on what metric you are focusing on current release. Okay, and in few of the cases there might be no major objective. If they are doing some sort of small bug fixes, okay, earlier if they are facing any issue in the delays in any one of the functionality, like what they'll simply ask us to do, just ask us to rerun the same test suite. In that cases there is no need of adding any scripts into your existing scripts. What you'll be doing, you'll be just simply hitting on the run of existing scenario. Okay, which is called sort of regression. If you are repeating the same run again and again, then it is considered as regression test. Okay, and also we need to know the application architecture. Okay, so if you consider this is this is related to Swiggy as per our discussion, right? So Swiggy can be able to access from the website, and we can also able to use the Swiggy application from mobile. Okay, let's consider we are having two sources where we can able to navigate to Swiggy application. Okay, from the web server we will be like connecting to app servers. So it doesn't mean web server only link to one app server if we are having two. So whatever the requests that are getting from the web server, that is going to share to what are all the number of servers we are having in our set. Okay, if you are trying to log in with Kumar credentials, or if you are trying to log in with Bhaskar credentials, then if those credentials are correct or not, that should be verified from the DB side. So those requests will move to here and will transfer the status to application, saying like the login is succeeded. Okay, so there will be intercommunication between the app and DB server. Okay, so in the app server, like this is the basic diagram. So in app server, what we will be doing? So we will be like adding something to the cart and adding the quantity, and if there is any such sort of cooking instructions, we will be adding that part as well. Okay, and also if we have any coupons, we will be applying coupon, and then when moving to payment, we will go ahead with the different payments. It might be phone pay, or it might be GPay, or it might be from the Sodexo card, Pluxy card, or it might be from the Paytm balance, or it might be from the Amazon balance. Okay, so from the payment we need to check all the possibility ways as per the application standard. If it is within India, so we will be checking all the Indian payment options. If it is within another state, then we need to check all the another states as well. Like exactly like here we will be calling that as Sodexo and Pluxy cards. Exactly we need to know like what type of payment they will be doing and what type of payments they are having as an availability. Okay, so we also include debit card, credit card, and all this stuff. Okay, when we use sort of debit and credit cards, so from the from the related time we will be getting some sort of fake cards. Okay, here like while testing, it doesn't mean like we are directly using our existing debit or existing credit card which is valid one. So they will be providing some dummy cards, and thereafter we will be using those details accordingly. Okay, so we all know in scope. Okay, suppose if Kumar came up with a picture like we will be mainly focusing on payment bugs for the current release. Okay, then what all the functionalities we are considering for the current release that comes to in scope. Okay, and if we want to consider Instamart and Genie is the place where we will be like it's a sort of how we can say um, what is that? It's like pick up and dropping a product. Okay, it's a sort of courier services. Okay, so even though if he has a plan, if you want to include that functionalities in the upcoming releases, then we can simply say like that is out of scope for now. Okay, what are all the functionalities we are planning for the current release that comes under in scope? So we are discussing about in scope and out scope from the day one itself. Okay, what all included for the current release, that is in scope, and what all excluded for the current release, and what are out of our sight, that comes under out scope. Okay, and then approach and execution strategy. Okay, so okay, exactly you have a plan to do this and that. Exactly how we are planning to approach your performance testing, how we are planning to execute it, that is nothing but strategy. When someone asks you like what is plan performance strategy or a plan strategy, means it's nothing but how we are planning things to be executed, that is strategy. If someone says like he is playing strategy, means he is just implementing whatever the things he is having in his mind in order to execute that particular function. In the same way, when you talk about approach and execution, see, Swiggy application will be tested under existing test process. So here you need to, you can also include what tool you are using. Suppose let's take, if you are using LoadRunner, you can mention like these scripts will be run by controller using LoadRunner tool. Okay, And if you are having like any monitoring tool integrated with your application, you can also mention like so and so monitoring tool is going to measure our resource metrics, server side metrics, which means how much CPU got consumed during the execution, how much memory got utilized during the execution. So all these things will be captured. Okay, so if it is strategy, then you are simply mentioning like how many users you are planning to do, and by using which type of tools you are planning to implement your test. Okay, and moving to next, entry and exit criteria. We all know what is entry criteria. So the prerequisite for the performance testing comes under entry criteria, and the the report which comes from the performance testing will be exit criteria. So see what we have written here, entry criteria. So in order to consider entry criteria for the performance testing, development phase should be completed and manual phase should be completed, and also the main thing is application should be stable. If the application is not stable, then we are not supposed to do any performance testing for unstable application. Okay, and exit, when we can say that we are good to exit, once if our report matches the client requirement. Okay, then we can simply say like we are good to close. Okay, you no need to worry, like even if we have like these many points, like when someone is going to ask you this, so what the interviewer will be expecting is like, first they will be expecting objective, application architecture, in scope, out scope, exit criteria, and sort of if you have any test data you can mention test data, and what are all the tools you used, and also roles and responsibilities. These are far enough. Okay, if you have like around 20 points even in your template also, it doesn't mean like you need to remember each and every point in your mind. Okay, so you can just have a look on what are all pretty much needed when you are trying to go ahead. Okay, so mainly objective, exactly how it works in the background, which can be like shown by architecture, and what all considered, what all not considered, what is prerequisite, what is like exit. Okay, what are all the tools you are using, and how about the test data, and how about responsibilities. Okay, you can consider these things. And moving forward, performance goals or capacity goals. So the following are the performance requirements for the performance test. So if Kumar already provided the SLS for the response time for the Swiggy application, okay, if he is asking us to go with only like 2 to 3 seconds for the login functionality, or as per the payment, as it is linked to the third party, either it might be phone pay or GPay or internet banking or credit card, debit card, anyhow, like it should link to the third party. Okay, so if it is a payment gateway, then definitely it's going to take high time than for the normal functionality. Then you can say like for payment you can consider like 5 to 7 seconds. Okay, so if the client is already aware of that, so we will be providing those values here. See, the average response time should be less than 2.5 seconds. Okay, and maximum for any one of the hits should not reach these many seconds. And whenever you are considering the resource utilization, either it might be CPU or the memory utilization, it should not be consumed more than 75%. Okay, so if your CPU is within the limit, means for most of the applications, okay, so if you are seeing the graph for CPU and this is for the memory, so whenever you are starting the test, it should like, or if you are considering 1000 users, okay, So whenever you are seeing the graph during the test execution, so all the users will enter into Swiggy application and they will play for around 1 hour. So when you consider the performance test, the basic load test timing is 1 hour. Okay, we will be executing this test for 1 hour. Okay, so if you consider this is CPU, it should not cross more than 75%. If it is crossing beyond 75, then we can say like there is a bottleneck, which is nothing but issue. So even if you consider memory also, if this is 100, okay, if it is reaching 100 in the mid, then also it is considered as issue. Even a small hike or spike to 100% can be considered in our executions. Okay, so if the client is not aware of that also, then we can say like we are expecting the resource utilization should be less than 75% during our test execution, no matter what how much load we are using. If it is defined load, then it should be less than 75%. Okay, so if the client is aware of all these values, either 2.5 or 75, and error rate, so when you talk about the error, if the 100 users are playing around or 1000 users are playing around the Swiggy application for 1 hour of duration, there might be a chances of getting errors for sure. Okay, for each and every application, like 0.01 errors might come. That is completely normal. It might be due to n number of reasons. Okay, so if he is like aware, and if he is going to let us know less than 2 seconds is fine, then we will be checking the error metrics as well. If it is within the SLA, then we are pretty good to close. Okay, if he is saying like only 1% and we are not entertaining more than 1%, like we will be raising this issue why we are getting 2 seconds, and we need to drill down exactly where and why the calls are getting failed. Okay, so these are nothing but SLA, service level agreement. If he already provided these numbers, we will be checking it accordingly. Okay, and software and tools used, we also need to mention this in test plan exactly, like which tool you are using. Okay, so are you using LoadRunner or Jmeter or Neoload or whatever it might be, so you need to add that tool. And also which version you are using. Are you using 2021 or 2024, or are you using the older versions? You need to mention that. And also in the architecture, we will be having web, app and DB, three servers, right? So if it is web, or if it is app, or if it is DB, we need to mention the name of the server and the version of the server as well. So no matter what are all the details you are adding in the test plan, that should be understandable for each and every guy who is trying to read this document without fail. So that it means it is gonna to like have the complete end to end idea on the application. Okay, if this document move to any QA candidate or developer candidate, so he can easily able to understand, okay, performance guys used this and that, and they included only these functionalities, and in the last release they excluded this, and these are the SLAs our client provided, and they are working accordingly. And earlier they did 2021. Okay, suppose let's take if Kumar Bhaskar, right? Okay, suppose let's take if Kumar moved out of the organization. Okay, and in place of Kumar, we have Bhaskar. Okay, if he is working in place of Kumar, like he worked on earlier, it was with the 2021 version. Now he is trying to re record the same thing using 2024 or 2023. Okay, So if he is facing any such sort of complexity or compatibility issues, he can directly like check this and he'll get to know, okay, the application whatever he recorded during that time was compatible with this version, not with the updated version. Okay, so that what he'll do, like he'll just check and will like degrade from 2024 to 2021, and he will go ahead with this recording as well. Okay, then there will be no issues, no. So if everything is documented, then we don't need to depend on others. Okay, and also here we need to mention team members. Okay, so we need to write the developer name and performance tester name, automation tester name, and also QA name and project manager as well, so that even if you are joining to this project for the first time, if you have already existing test plan, then if you are having any doubts, you can reach to that particular developer. Okay, so these are all the things you need to fill up when you talk about team members and responsibilities. Okay, and you also need to mention like how many users you are, how much load you are planning to execute. And if you are having like any credit card details, as I said, no, if you are having set of dummy cards, credit cards, debit cards, and if you are having like test IDs, so multiple usernames, multiple passwords in order to test that, so we need to add that as well on high priority, so that while going ahead with scripting, you need to add all these things into your script. If you want to create multiple orders using credit card, then you need to provide these credit card numbers, and also followed by CVV pin and also expiry date. Okay, all these things will be provided in test data in the form of Excel or CSV. Okay, and next, risk and mitigations. Okay, exactly what will be the risk? If we are not meeting the criteria, then it can be considered as risk. So in a simple word, we can say like unsatisfactory performance of the application. So if you're planning to see a 2 seconds in the login functionality, like if it is giving 5 seconds and if you're trying to drill down that again and again, even after the code changes from the developer side, if it is giving such bad format means, then that is going to be a big risk. Okay, we will be also providing the risk and mitigation as well. Okay, so if there is any unsatisfactory report that comes under risk, then you need to provide the mitigation as well, because it's your responsibility. If you are seeing any issue in the mid of execution or during your performance testing, it should be your responsibility to do the mitigation, correct? So here we will be providing mitigation. Okay, see, when we talk about the mitigation, it is simple. So conduct performance testing of application at the beginning of the project. So we need to start our testing in the beginning phases only. Okay, if app does not meet the goals established as per the SLA, project management will have the most time possible to adjust the project plans. Suppose, let's take the 21st of March is our release end date, and they are planning to add Instamart into the production from 25th of, sorry, from the 24th of March. Okay, if you are simply starting the things on 17th and if you are planning to close it on 21st, then if you are facing any issues in the mid, then definitely that is going to postpone your release date, which is going to impact the production from 24th. So whenever something called Instamart or Genie or whatever it might be, the new functionalities added into your application, you should start the work from the beginning. Okay, yesterday also we discussed, like, see, sometimes what I said, see, though we should do our scripting in the higher environment, if there is any limitations or if there is any limited timelines, then what we will be simply doing, we will be creating the scripts here and making use of those scripts in higher environment, so that we came to know what are all the complexities we will be identifying in the application itself, so that it's going to reduce our time. And if you are facing any major challenges, then we will be checking with the developer, and if there is any issue in that particular functionality, he is going to fix that code and will push the code to higher environment. If you are simply relying on higher environment, then definitely if you are facing any issues, that is going to hit the client hard. Okay, so you need to consider the things in that aspect as well. So the best mitigation while doing performance testing is to conduct the performance testing from the beginning phase. Okay, and then we also need to get the approval list. So whenever like you are done with all the things, risk and mitigations, you also see, you also added the number of users. Okay, and you also added, you are using LoadRunner, and you added all these things. So suppose if Yodi is coming back to us and ask like why you are using LoadRunner, we asked you people to check with Jmeter. Okay, then again it will be hard for us because we already created our scripts for all the key business scenarios using LoadRunner. Okay, so if your test plan approval is pending, then definitely anyone is going to ask you to change these details. These, they will consider these are not yet fixed, these are not yet finalized. For the same reason, from the beginning, I'm saying the importance of test plan approval. Because if the client has any change in his requirement, definitely that should be in the form of approval only. Okay, if not, then again bad terms will start. So that as per the terms and conditions, like it is going to be in a wrong way. Of course, client has right to change his requirement, but once the test plan is approved and we started our work, if he has a change in his option, definitely he should provide extra timelines. Because see, we already started our work from 10th, and we already started scripting, and we are about to end our scripting by 14th, and now he is coming like and saying like no Amulya and no Kumar Yodi, and we are planning to switch that to Jmeter, which is of complete waste. So whatever the efforts we did so far is of no use. Okay, then definitely if he is completely willing to switch to any other things, or if he is willing to add on or deletion on any changes in the plan, definitely we can ask, not we can, we should ask the extra timelines. Okay, so for the same reason, we should get the approval from the client and also from the project manager. Okay, this is pretty much needed. Either it might be like a simple or minute change. Even if he is looking for, instead of 1000, if he is looking for 1500 users, okay, it doesn't mean like simply adding extra 500 users into our execution, but that should be documented in a proper format. Okay, if he is asking us to go with 1500, let's consider this is already approved. Okay, then what we are going to do, we are going to simply add one more column here. Okay, we will be adding one more column, and we will simply write 1.2, and we will be writing the Kumar name, and we will be writing second round of revision here. So in the second round of revision, what we are updating, instead of 1000 users, we are going ahead with 1500 users. Okay, so these all the things we will be considering when we talk about test plan. Okay, any questions on test plan so far, guys?
Amulya, Bhaskar here.
Yes, Bhaskar.
So risk assessments and mitigations, what
Mhm.
exactly, what
Okay,
factors comes?
so as per our better understanding, like when we are gonna to say risk, if we were aware of that application, if we are good till 100 users, and if we are going beyond 100 users, if it is giving some sort of any major issues, then we can say like this application can be like applicable for 100 users. Okay,
Okay.
and mitigation, if we want to go ahead with more than 100 users, then definitely for the next release we are planning to go ahead with, we are expecting more hardware resource in our execution point of view, so that they will be adding more CPUs during our execution.
Yeah. So the risk assessment and mitigations will be finalized once the test execution completes, right? We cannot analyze this
Yeah,
part now, right?
so that's what here what we
Because
mentioned. So what are all
and
within the SLA that can be like within the SLA, then that's not going to hit us hard. So if
mm,
we are getting any unsatisfactory things, that can be considered as risk. So for the same reason, we should do the things from the very scratch, so that we can able to mitigate the risk whatever we are getting, right? It doesn't mean like it's not only like what is that, linked to only one topic.
okay.
Okay, so
Oh,
instead
can
of considering 100 users and going ahead with
mm,
more than 100, you can like whenever you are doing that for the very first time, you can considering like you can consider like within like unsatisfactory report can be considered as risk. And also, if we want to go ahead with mitigation, you need to check the things related to the performance testing from the scratch.
okay.
Okay, yeah,
Mm.
any other?
So these are all the factors comes under
That
test
we will
plan, right?
test plan, yeah. So what are all the things we will be considering in NFR? So the same things, even I mean you attended the yesterday session, right, Bhaskar?
Yes. Yes, Amulya.
Okay,
Um,
so if you check this document, so we almost added what are all the contents we have in NFR. So this is a
okay.
sort of a proper document that is going to act as a legal note between the client and the organization. It's a sort of approval between these two candidates.
Okay.
Okay, Kumar, any questions?
No,
Okay,
no, Amulya.
yeah, okay, fine. Yadi? Okay, she might be on mute. That's fine. Okay, now we'll simply go ahead with a sample recording. So I'll just show you like when we talk about the load runner. Okay, as I said, no, there will be no such programming language as a prerequisite and all this stuff. No, so here we can simply go and record one flow. Okay, so here we will be going ahead with the application called Web Tours. Okay, um, so once you are done with your payment, Isha team is going to share you the LoadRunner installation links and also what are all the
Amulia, I'm okay now. I couldn't unmute for some reason, but
applications.
I'm okay.
Yeah, fine, Yadi, thank you. So you can able to get all these application files, okay, and also the notes on daily based and all this stuff. Okay, so here I'll simply show you how the application looks. Okay, so this is the application on which we are playing. So we have the universal credentials, which can be opened without any registration and all this stuff. So Jojo and Bean, Bean. Okay, and clicking on login. So this is a sort of travel application, and where you can able to book your flight. Okay, so here we have four options: flight, itinerary, home, sign off. So itinerary is just like history. So if you book any tickets, all these things will come here. And if you click on flights, you can able to book your flight. It is not responding. Okay, so we'll be having a drop down. So let's book ticket from London to Paris. Okay, so here you can provide number of passengers. Okay, and also you can add any seating preference and which type of seat you are looking for. And if you are looking for round trip, you can go ahead and opt that. And also, like from London to Paris on 13th of March, I'm seeing four flights. Okay, 240, 41, 42, and 43. These are the flight names, and these are the timings, and this is the cost. Okay, so I'm good with 5 p.m., so I'll pick 5 p.m. And then it is going to ask us address. So as it is a dummy application, you can able to provide any numbers. Okay, so and you can click continue, so that your ticket got booked. So $149 from London to Paris. Okay, if you want to book another, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so for this application, I am simply going to show you how we can able to record using LoadRunner. Okay, so this is, I mean, when you open the application, I mean LoadRunner itself, it is going to show you like which version you are having in your machine. See, this is 2022. Okay, okay, let me simply, I'm not adding anything, I'm just going ahead with a sample just to show you how we can record. 12th 2025.
Amulya, I have one doubt.
Yeah, yes.
What is the difference between web HTTP HTML and web service protocols?
So see, web HTTP HTML is nothing but where you can able to play with web applications.
Okay.
Okay, whereas services is nothing but a sort of single API. So if you consider this is end to end your application, right? So
Mm.
if you are going to inspect this network, so you can able to see this, right?
Yes.
So this comes under one API. So
Okay.
if you want to go ahead with a sort
How
of
to how to identify a request if it is a something on a page with blue lines, it is a request, right?
sorry, blue lines means exactly what you are saying.
Under the name welcome.pl question mark. So
Okay.
how to find requests here?
Oh, see, like I mean, your question is like what all needs to be considered and what all not. That's what
Yes.
is that
What
one?
are
Okay, okay, fine. So whenever you record something, see, 1 second. In sources here itself, you'll be getting the detailed picture, type,
okay?
document, and also GIF. So mostly we won't entertain anything related to GIF, or if it is
Mm.
any image format also, we will be not entertaining anything. Okay,
Okay.
and mostly document, and also there will be something called XHR. Okay,
XHR.
yes, we will be considering that. But anyhow, like whenever you are doing sort of scripting during web HTTP HTML, you no need to include this. Okay, but
Mm.
anyhow we will be like doing recording from this as well. Okay,
Okay.
it is going to like the load runner itself. See, I'm just going with web http html, right? So simply clicking on create. I'll talk about this in detail in next sessions. Okay, I'll just simply record it and show you. Okay, so if you want to see this page, I'll be simply clicking on record and provide my credentials and clicking on login. Okay, as I move to second page, I'll simply provide comment
Should
here.
be in the init, right?
Sorry,
It should be in the init, right?
it doesn't mean like definitely it should be in init or that should be here. We will be having three options. One is init and action and end. Okay, so
Hmm.
it's completely our choice how we are gonna to record our script. If you want end to end into one action, then definitely you can make use of that into action part itself. That's not a big deal.
Okay. That
But
doesn't
in
affect,
few, yeah,
right?
no, nothing is going to affect. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Okay.
here what I'm doing, I'm clicking on flights. I'm simply making a comment. Okay, I'll come to all these icons in detail in next sessions. Okay, and this is find flight. You no need to like worry about exactly what name we need to provide here and there. So whatever the heading or whatever the action you are doing here, you can simply provide that. Okay, London, Portland. This is flight number, no? So I'll just simply provide the comment as flight, selecting flight number or flight number. Anything is fine. Okay. And then going with 252. See, 252, 5 p.m., $761. And this is for payment. I'm adding one more comment called payment.
Maybe I'm going to drop off in the call. Tomorrow I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
just join
fine.
software at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fine,
give me
fine,
that.
fine. Yeah, fine. Okay. And now I'm clicking on sign off. That's it. So I'm done with this, and you need to stop your recording. Okay, and if you okay, we'll go to these points in the coming sessions. I don't want to confuse you. So once you are done with your recording, then it is going to generate whatever you recorded so far. Okay, see, earlier you asked, no, like what all will be considered and what all not. Bhaskar, are you there?
Yes, okay. Got it.
Haha. So here itself you can able to exclude that as well. One second. Okay, so if you open the action part, you can able to see the things. So this is the place where you did login. See, you used, see, you no need to get any confusion. So if you see here, this is talking about login page. Okay,
Okay.
and you used the username as Jojo and the password is Bean. Okay, and if you come down, see, this is the next page, which is called where we click on flights. Okay, so it is searching about the flight button. Okay, and in next step what we did, we just pick the arrival and departure. See, this is depart to London and arrive option is Portland. And if you consider number of passengers is 1, seat preference is window, and seat type is business. Okay, and Moving to flight number. If you come to flight number, it is 252 and it is charging about $761, and this is the date, as it
Okay.
opted business class and window seat. And payment, so I provided Hyderabad. Okay, and this is my credit card number, this is my expiry date. Okay, and after doing payment I clicked on sign off. So you no need to worry, like, and there will be also no much confusions exactly. If you see about like if you see this request, this is from which request, either you can see here, or if you are seeing the explicit URL at the end, you will be having that additional word, right? Even from there also you can get exactly you are on which page. Okay, so this is how the basic recording will come into picture when we talk about LoadRunner. Okay, so tomorrow we can go ahead with installation. So who are all done with the payment, so there will be like a team, Isha team is going to add those people into the separate WhatsApp group, and they will be sharing each and every document through their mails, and they'll provide the permissions for all the recordings. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so any questions on the basic recording, we'll like discuss in detail going forward, because this is just a basic recording. So whatever you are clicking over there in the application, it is simply gonna to reflect.
Hmm.
Okay, there is no need to write anything here, but if there is any extra add-ons needed, then definitely we should customize. But so far, like being around 9 years of experience, like in this load runner, we won't be involving much into programming areas, and we will be writing code here and there. That's completely like optional thing. Okay.
Some logical actions will be coming, right?
Sorry.
Some logical actions will be coming,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. So yeah, the thing is like here you for the same reason, whether you are landing on the proper page or not, here you need to definitely go ahead with one verification point for each and every page. Because if you're simply like recording, and if you're simply replaying, that doesn't mean any sense, right? See, instead of Jojo and Bean, we need to check with multiple users if it is working for Bhaskar or not, if it is working for Amulya credentials or not, if it is working for Yadi credentials or not. So for the same reason, we will be going ahead with multiple test data. Okay, we will be adding those usernames and credentials. And also if you see here, so whenever you are trying to log into the application, definitely you'll be getting one OTP. Correct?
Yeah.
If I am logging, definitely the OTP is going to vary. If Yodi is doing from her end, then there will be some sort of dynamic values from the server itself. So for that, we need to handle in a way called correlation.
Okay.
Okay, and also if I am simply leaving this request itself, it means like Yadi, Amulya and Bhaskar is only planning to London to Portland, but you are willing to travel from different location, and my requirement is different, your requirement is different. So we should design our script in such a way that customer can able to go ahead as per his requirement. So we need to handle this value and this value as well. And everyone is not supposed to go ahead with only with the business class and with window seat.
Hmm.
Okay, what are the values we are having in this particular application? ASL, window, none, first class, business class, coach. So we will be handling our script in such a way that should satisfy each and every option over here. So even when you are picking the value from this drop down, it should randomly pick out of these 10 values.
Okay.
And also we will be writing one condition. See, whenever you land on this page, it is simply showing Denver to Denver.
Hmm.
Okay, because this is an alphabetical adder, so that is why it is with the Denver and Denver. but this is of no use, right? If you want to travel Hyderabad to Hyderabad, then what's the purpose of traveling, which is of completely negative case. Okay.
Okay.
But if you are going with random also, there might be a chances of picking the same value, Denver to Denver. So we
Okay.
will be like designing our script in such a way, in like a positive way. Even if there is any chance of meeting these two values same, then it should pick the different value. We will be writing some if conditions as well. So for the same reason, we are planning at the basic C language classes as well. Okay.
Amulya, one thing
Yes.
out of this, like I want to
Your
understand.
voice is bit breaking.
Okay, is it clear
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Bit better. Yeah.
Out of this, I want to understand. Could you
Hmm.
please tell us, like, at what extent we are going in this course? Like, so till what we'll be completing the load runner, all the three components, and a real project. And what is the real time project we'll be doing, and
So
till what
here,
extent?
okay, fine. So here, like we are going with two applications. One is Web Tools and the other is JPEG Store. Okay, and also here I'm including three protocols. Okay, one is Web Protocol and one is True Client Protocol, and also like I'm planning to go ahead with like few sessions on API. Okay,
API is
if it is
nothing but.
API services, sorry, yeah, API is nothing but services.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a doubt. Like, what is the true client protocol? What is it used for?
Like actually that is completely different, like so in few of the cases, like a client don't want to go ahead with the same session, or under few in for few of the applications, whatever the web protocol we are using, that don't look some sort of compatibility. So in
Hmm.
that cases, for the same web applications, we can go ahead with true client.
Okay.
Okay. So it is
Hmm.
going to give you the things in an easy way.
Okay.
So it's like a sort of browser based testing. So we can simply say like that's a browser based testing.
Okay.
Okay.
With these two applications only, we will be doing all the three protocols.
Yes. And
Hmm.
whereas for the services, like I'm gonna to like include a sort of soap and also rest, and I will be like going ahead with the differences between those two, and there we can plan with different services. So if you like Google some services, there we can able to get some open services where we can able to play about that. And also
Okay.
this
That
is
is the
mostly like this LoadRunner is
last.
completely linked with the web protocol, but I'll go ahead with the basic API, and anyhow there will be a team is going to provide you a sort of bonus recordings for that as well.
Oh.
Okay, actually TrueClick is also not included, but I just want to include this for the better understanding. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. So until the real time project, and yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we are going to deal with two projects, which is nothing but two applications, and with three protocols.
Hmm.
And also we will be including the open source monitoring tool. Okay, because whereas for the Dynatrace and AppD, we are having another training sessions for that. So, but here, like I'll also include Performance, which is internal monitoring tool. In few of the situations, the client like is not willing to go ahead with paid monitoring
External
versions. No.
IBM. Yeah.
Yes. So that
External
like
IBM.
even in that worst conditions also, we can able to like go ahead with analysis and monitoring
Yeah,
with our
we have
internal tool.
for LoadRunner itself. We have one uh, performance monitoring tool, right? Or what is it? Perf.
Perfmon. Are you talking about Perfmon? It's not only for the load runner, so like it's for like internal for Windows.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
not only for the Perfmon. Like if you want to gather anything related to another tool also, it's just gonna to see if you are creating any test. So if you type perf mon, and if you want to check the metrics, you will be adding those metrics into this perf mon, so that in the data collector set it is going to like capture all the things. Okay,
Hmm.
here we will be adding
So
what all the
here we
metrics
will be going
needed.
in depth about capturing the dynamic values,
Yeah.
everything,
Yes,
exception
yes,
handling.
yes, yes. Yeah. Exception handling and also like parameterization,
So
correlation. So by end of this training, you can able to play with any
kind of
type
dynamic
of
values.
application, and yeah, for sure. So even here also in dynamic values, there are two ways. One is, or you can also
Or
see the automated and also manual.
yeah, actually,
Okay. Hmm.
sorry for yeah. I can tell me just a
Do
brief about. I'm a
uh,
I'm a working professional already. Yeah. So
what you said? Sorry,
what
your voice is breaking again. Is that
is
only
it?
for me, Yodi? Or even you also facing the same?
A little bit. I can hear him, but it breaks up here and there.
Huh, huh, huh. Yeah, even that's what for me also it is breaking here and there. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, basket. Yeah, yeah, fine. That's not a problem. Yeah, saying something. What's that?
Yeah, yeah. So I've already got experience in performance testing.
Okay.
LoadRunner I've already worked, but I think like advanced like some dynamic.
Okay.
So I just want to go more deep to the
Okay.
LoadRunner. So that is
Okay.
what
So
my
actually,
expectation from this course.
okay. So in this, like you are gonna to get each and every option in the entire load runner. Okay.
Okay.
So you can also check with Yodi. Yodi is already like she already joined the last sessions as well, as she didn't
Mm-hmm.
get a chance to work more into that during last period. She just rejoined it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Just for the sort of pre-sessions.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think we are good to close now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Bhaskar. Thanks, Yodi.
That-
Yeah. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.